Hello everyone, I'm Darth Loquitur. Welcome to the channel. If you're a newer player or just looking to get better at Grand Arena, this video is made for you. Today, we're going to review my account, Darth Loquitur, 105 days played. It's a non-hyperdrive account, so let's get on in there and have a look at what we got going on. So, what I did this week is a little bit different. I did absolutely nothing with the account for the whole week. I saved up all the money. I didn't put on any gear. I didn't develop any characters. Of course, I farmed and bought stuff out of the shop and everything else, but I didn't gear anybody up or apply anything. You can see I did good on stun cuffs this week. I have 3 sets of stun cuffs that I built. I did well on stun cuffs, I guess I should say. And the Snow Trooper is the character that we had that needed 3 sets of stun cuffs just to upgrade to the next tier. So the first thing we're going to do, since we've got 16.5 million credits and we've got a bunch of gear saved up for the week, and remember we're trying to manage our galactic power so we don't get too carried away. So this is a good character to go ahead and tier up. Maybe we could do a couple other characters with these stun cuffs, but because we're protecting our galactic power, now is as good of a time as any to work on the character that requires 3 sets of those stun cuffs and get that out of the way. So here we go. We're going to upgrade this Snow Trooper to gear 11. All right, happy with that. Then we actually could level up some of these Geos, but we're not going to do that. We're going to get the Sith Trooper. We got enough stuff for him to go to gear 11 as well, so we do that. I've actually been asked by some of my subscribers to hold on to these Geos and not continue to develop them, so that once I get the Brood Alpha to 7 stars, I can make a video and kind of show how low of a level you can get the Padme event done with Geos. So we're going to hold off on Geos, even though we really want to develop those, and try to do that for the channel. So we're going to take Veers up to 85 and put the Zeta on him. The Trooper team is not really going to be effective at what they do without Veers having both his leadership and his passive ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and invest our 3rd Zeta into this guaranteed chance for turn meter gain when we kill somebody. Hey, quest complete. Yay. We're also going to rely on his Ruthless Assault to do a lot of damage and get us that first kill, or get us close to that first kill. So it's got 15% damage bonus on this last tier up, so we really need to do that. And then his basic, we really need to have that as well. So gear, all the skills maxed out on Veers. That's good. We'll continue to get his gear up hopefully next week, but that gives us a good leader for the troopers, and we can start doing trooper things with them. So out of the rest of the roster here, we still have a lot more money to spend, and the main need that we have at this point is in modding characters. We still have 3 Jedi characters. We're going to go ahead and take the Brood Alpha to 6 stars. We won't level his gear up anymore, but we will take him to 6, and then of course 7 stars so we can do the Padme event. So the need that we have right now is to finish out modding our Jedi. We still have Bastila to mod, Grandmaster Yoda to mod, and Obi-Wan. So all 3 of these Jedi need to have mods in them. And I was going to shorten this part and cut it out, but again, I had a few people from the channel say, hey, if you're going to work on mods, we want to see that. So if you don't want to see me work on mods, you can fast forward the video a little bit right now. But for those who are struggling with mods and looking for advice and want to see, what kind of decisions I make and why I'm developing what I'm developing, this gets sold because it's a speed arrow without a speed main stat. So I'll be going through and kind of narrating and helping people understand. So we're going to go in here now. We're going to sell everything that's not a 5-dot mod first. We got a couple more here, so we'll sell those. Then we're going to filter by the left side mods, the square, the diamond, and the circle, and we're going to sell all the gray ones. Now this is not something that we're going to want to do long term. It's just right now, while we're so low on money and we're trying to level up characters, and it takes so much money to invest in these, and then you have to buy more slicing materials even to see if they're good to get your first stat upgrade. So we're getting rid of the gray ones for now. When more of our characters, the teams that we want, are all level 85 and we've got better control on our credits, then we'll work on those gray mods as well. So right now here at the start, you can see we've got about 11 million credits in the bank. So I want you guys to notice that number, and then when I'm done with mods, you'll be able to see the number when we finish, and you can kind of compare and see how much stuff we've spent on. So now we're getting rid of all the arrows that don't have speed. You can do something different on your own account, but I like speed arrows to have speed. This one has offense, and I can already see a speed stat on it. So for that green mod, if we can get that speed stat to develop, as long as it has a speed substat on it, it might be interesting. Don't know. So we'll at least take a look because it's got some speed already showing. All right, and then we'll look at pluses. And basically here, we're just looking to get rid of tenacity. We don't really want tenacity crosses unless they are tenacity mod sets. And I'm not really working on tenacity mod sets right now, so we're just getting rid of some of these things. Looking pretty good. No problems up here. So we'll sell these two mods and be done with it. All right. So now we're looking for speed on Bastila, and she's pretty slow. She gets some more speed here in a couple gear tiers, but at this gear tier, she's pretty putsy. So we need to find all kinds of speed. First thing we're going to do, we're going to see if this speed arrow here is going to be worth anything. And it gets offense percent and offense flat stats, so maybe we'll be interested in it, so we're not going to sell it right away. We just put 6 into this to see what the stats are going to look like. Then we put another 3 in it to get all 4 stats showing. Crit chance, offense. This is a good offensive mod. It'll be good for a character. And, we could put this at 15 right now and put it on Bastila and feel pretty good about ourselves. But one of the stats that we really want to pay attention to on Bastila is potency. She's got a skill that stuns an opponent, takes off all her buffs and stuns them. So we want to have enough potency on her that she can, stun one of the enemies with pretty good reliability. So we're going to be looking at a speed set and a potency set for her. And certainly if we can find a mod that goes in this arrow slot that has speed but also has a little bit of potency, we're going to be happier with that than we would be just with an offensive mod. So we're looking, and there's nothing with speed. We've still got a couple more to develop down here. So again, we'll take 6 or 9 right off the start, and here we get potency, health, tenacity. The tenacity is not that great of a stat. We're not in love with that, but it's good enough that we're going to say, yep, that's got potency on it. That can go as Bastila's mod. So here we've got a level 12 mod with 7 speed on it, 8 speed. So we're not just in here working on mods, we're in here trying to outfit a character with mods. So we're looking for things that are appropriate. So this mod doesn't have speed, and we're going to give it 2 levels up, see if it gets speed. It doesn't get speed. A speed mod without a speed substat is a sold mod. So we're just looking for diamonds. We'll go ahead and filter by diamonds to make this simpler. This one already has speed on it, so we'll hit it with 6 and see if we get a hit on speed. We don't. We're not happy with the defense, but we'll give it another try, and it's really not developing the way we want. But that's not a speed mod, so speed is not the absolute critical thing, and we might want a critical chance mod that looks like that at some point. So that's why that one didn't get sold off, because it's not a speed mod. That one just didn't have enough offensive stats or crit chance or anything like that to go along with what kind of mod it is. So another speed mod here we'll take a look at. These are bad stats. Sold, done, no speed, gone. Another speed mod, looking for speed. Do we get it? We do not get it, and away it goes. Here's a crit damage mod that we've got. And we get protection, tenacity, protection, crit chance. So a crit damage mod is a offensive style mod. So if we can hit the crit chance here, we're interested, but we don't hit it, so it's gone. On this mod, we're looking for good stats. So we got protection, crit chance, speed, a lot of good stats. We hit protection. That's not the best stat for us to hit. We get crit chance again. It's a crit chance mod with a speed substat and crit chance. So we're going to lock that down because eventually we're going to want to develop that mod and also slice it. That's a mod we're slicing because 4 out of 4 good stats, useful stats. This one, 3 speed is not that exciting, and if you get decent stats like this, if you hit the speed, you're interested in the mod, but a 3-speed mod, you're not going to invest slicing materials trying to make a 3-speed mod better. So it either gets better by itself or it gets out of your inventory. All right, we'll develop all the stats on this, do 9 at once. A lot of good stats, but no speed. And again, we're just trying to find one mod for Bastila. We're not trying to go through every mod in our inventory and develop every mod that we have. But so far, we're not finding what we want in terms of a speed mod with good speed, or a crit chance mod with good speed, or a potency mod with good speed. So we're not having much success getting where we want to go. That's the way it goes sometimes. And we're not going to take a good mod off of a different character to put it on Bastila. So, at some point that may be true. But for right now, she's kind of relegated to our 3rd or 4th best team. So we don't take mods off of the other teams that we want to develop, just to make Bastila better. So we got offense, health, and potency. It's not a speed mod. They're not really that great stats, but if we could have got speed or crit chance or something on that last stat, it would have been really good. But overall, even though the stats are okay, I don't think that's a mod that we would pick out of our inventory to put on a character over other mods that might look better. Here we've got offense, and potency. Those are good stats. Look, you get defense on it, so all right. Protection, health, crit chance. It does have crit chance on it and health, which are not bad. Let's see where it goes. Tenacity is not the greatest stat. We're not thrilled with that. And this goes on for a while. So we sort mods on Bastila, and we end up, getting the best mods we can figure out for her. It takes a long time. Going through all these, doing the same thing, just leveling them up, seeing what they are, throwing away the ones that don't look good, don't have speed on them. You can see I'm going back and forth on. I got 5 speed mods on her now, and then put a potency set. And then I do all the same stuff for Grandmaster Yoda. We're gonna do him the same way. And we get to a point finally where Grandmaster Yoda is sitting at 198 speed, and Bastila is at 195 speed. So if we can get just a little more speed on Bastila and put her ahead of Yoda, that's what we want. We want her just ahead of Yoda. So we've got a 9-speed mod here, and we do have a 13-speed mod in inventory. And that mod right there is actually, in my opinion, too good for Bastila right now. I actually want to save that for a different character at some point. But that's going to get us exactly to 199 speed. That's what we need, so we're going to go ahead and put that on Bastila. So now she's at 199. He's at 198. So he's going 1 speed less than her. So now we got to check into our other Jedi. We've got Obi-Wan still to mod, and we've got Anakin, who right now has a speed set on him, and he's faster than both of them. So we have to work on Jedi Knight Anakin as well. We start looking at his mods, trying to figure out what he's got, if we could slow him down just a touch. And in the end, we swap around 2 of his mods and end up with him at 194. So he's just a couple speed behind. We got a 199, 198, and 194. So now we're looking at Old Ben, and that health arrow looks pretty good. It's got some pretty good substats on it, so we'll see where that takes us. And old Ben doesn't have to be as fast as the rest of the team. We want to pay attention to potency. His skill that gives everybody ability block is good. We want that to be able to land. So where we can find some potency stats, we're going to be looking for those. And just in general defensive stats so that he can tank for a few hits before he goes down. And remember, with old Ben, you don't mind if he gets killed because, well, I mean, you don't want him to get killed, but if he does get killed, it buffs up the rest of your Jedi, so he can help him out. So that gets a bunch of flat protection. It's not a great mod, but again, we're just looking to get something on old Ben. And nobody else is going to use that defensive mod, so we can use it right now. The flat protection is actually going to be pretty good for him at this level to help him survive a little longer. So here we've got a crit chance with health on the main stat. That's really what we're looking at, is the health main stat. And it does have speed. And I've got a bunch of low-level materials for that first slice, so I can go ahead and slice that to green and then to blue. And we didn't hit speed. Well, it would have been nice if we did, but we're okay. So now we got a health set, a defense set, and since we got that crit chance on there, we can go ahead and try to find a crit chance cross, and then we'll have 3 sets. And crit chance is not that great for old Ben, but again, we're working with very early game mod inventory here, so it's a bit about doing the best you can with what you have. And we're looking for health stats on him. Remember, health. The more health you have, the more bonus protection you're going to get from Bastila's leadership. Her protection up at the beginning of the game is actually based off of health. So we want to, have a look for health where we can, where it makes sense. So let's look and see what we've got here. The options are pretty slim if we want to keep that set bonus. Here we've got one with defense on it, so let's see what kind of stats we get on this. Not that great, but we're going to go ahead and put it on. It's a good defensive mod. It's got a lot of defensive stats on it. So in the end, this is the problem. Your early game, you want a decent mod on a character. You want to be able to put it at 15, but you don't have something better. So we're going to take all these mods all the way up to level 15 to get him the set bonuses and put him in decent shape. We got speed on that. We got 11 speed, so that was a nice upgrade on that one. And you can see our money's going down, and we're at 4.89 million. So with the mod work that we did, we went from 11 to 5. So we spent about 6 million out of 16 million just working on mods. About a third, a little over a third. Now we're going to try to slice up these 2 mods. This one has 4 speed rolls on it. We're hoping for the 5th speed roll, but we don't get it. We go down here, we've got 4 speed rolls, 17 speed, hoping to get another speed upgrade, and we get the worst possible conclusion. So that takes a little bit more money out of our account, and now we're down to 5 million, or down below 5 million. But yeah, that's you got to commit to spending a lot on those mods and figuring out what you got. So we've got a little more money and a little more galactic power to work with here, and I think out of all the characters that I have, Yoda is probably the one where I feel like we should go ahead and get him a little bit better now that we got mods on him. So we'll take him up to level 70 and upgrade his gear. Get him to gear 9. And you can see now he's got pluses on everything on his gear. So we're going to take a look through here. We've got 3 of these already built, so we don't mind putting that on him. We've only got 1 of those that we can build, but that's okay. We got a couple of those to spare. That's not a real stun gun. That's a Mark IV stun gun, so we're good there. That's easy. We got a lot of those. So there's nothing that would be required for Yoda to go up another gear tier where we'd be giving up something critical for another character. Of course, that computer there is pretty important, but we do have 3 of them, so don't feel too bad about that. So we got to take him up to level 79 here. and I put him on level 78 by accident, so I had to go back in and yeah, it's 79. You need another level, boy. All right, there we go. All right, so now we're at level 79 and we can put him on gear 10. Just checking our galactic power. It's at 577. We got room to do this without any problem. And now his skills are all level 1, so if we're going to invest in him and give him some levels, we got to get his skills upgraded as well so that he can at least hit something. So we'll take this up. And we've got enough materials that we're not too worried about it. We don't want to be spending the Omega materials unless we know that we really want them. And for his second skill here, that's one where, the Omega is going to get you the immediate bonus turn as long as there's another living Jedi ally. And you really need to be able to take that bonus turn. So we're going to go ahead and assign that as well while we're here. And now his unstoppable force, we're going to go ahead and level that up. And we're just paying attention mostly to the damage. When we get damage each time that we increase it. So 6 levels is enough. I mean, we can get 5% more damage. We'll come back later and do that. Same thing here. We'll take his battle meditation up. We're not going to be able... The top level of this is a Zeta, and we don't want to apply the Zeta to that yet. Even if we had it, we wouldn't want to quite yet. So that gets Yoda up and running. And Bastila does have all the stuff she needs to go up a gear tier as well. So we're going to go ahead and take her up a few levels. Just high enough to get a gear tier. And go ahead and upgrade her as well. And then we got to check speeds. We got to make sure that we didn't accidentally increase her speed. I checked her gear and it didn't look like any of it was going to increase her speed, so she's still at the same speed she was at before. So we're good there. And we're running out of money pretty quick. We're only at about 700,000 left. So we've got one more thing that we could do, and I don't think we can raise him up enough, and he still needs mods leveled up. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take Colonel Stark, and we're going to go ahead and promote him and get his 6-star and try to help out this trooper team a little more. So that puts us at 582 galactic power. And then we made some final adjustments and set up these teams. And you can see from a defensive standpoint, we've got 3 defensive teams, but not great. The idea would be to have at least 2 good defensive teams. And right now we've just got the Geos, and they're pretty strong at 72,000. And we've got, kind of a mixed match team of stuff that we can put in there at 36. And then a Rebel team down at the bottom that at least has some kind of synergy at 25. But we're relegated to kind of playing the Geos front-bottom defense if we're going to save up enough stuff to have a decent offense. So we really need one more good defensive team pretty badly. On offensive side, you've got a pretty even split now. So we've got about 60,000 in the Imperial Trooper team. We've got just over 50,000 in the Jedi team. And with the 4-man Sith squad down there, we've got about 53,000. Now, Dooku we haven't put any effort into for a long time, and he's kind of fallen behind. But, we'll put him in if we need him. We'll take him out if we don't. And just to go through our Jedi team again, 199, 198. I think Anakin's 194, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 194 on him. And then we have a bit of a drop-off. Ahsoka's kind of slow, so she's at 174? And then old Ben bringing up the last with 161, so he's pretty slow. So that team is not fast enough to do anything good. But as long as I can go up against an opponent where I can outspeed him by just a little bit, so if he's only at 200 speed, then I'll be able to bring in that Bastila and outspeed him because of that initial speed boost She gives everybody a 15% turn meter right at the start. So we'll be able to boost up our team and go faster than the opposing team, and that should get us ahead of the game enough to go ahead and be able to do what we need to do. So that's the account. That's what we're looking like as of today. And then just a few other things to kind of go over with the account. I just want to talk a little bit about the double shard drops for characters. So the whole reason I started doing this video series was because I felt like that change could be very interesting, and I wanted to see how it would affect a new account and what we could expect, as a new player, if this was really a quality of life game change. And for shop characters, I will say it's really a noticeable difference. It used to take 22 days to farm a character out of like the Galactic War store, for example, and about twice that long out of Squad Arena store. And now it takes half as long. And you really notice it. Like if you want to build a character with Galactic War currency, 11 days later it's done. And that feels like, it feels fast. It feels good. So I think in that regard, for the characters that you can buy out of the shops and shipments, it's a big change. You can feel the difference. For node characters, it doesn't feel great. I got to say, the Sith Trooper, for example, I've been farming him every day since the 20th of November, and he's still got a ways to go to get to 7 stars. So he's got like 50 left to go, so I feel like I'm going to be farming him for 90 days to get him to 7 stars. And you could say, well, hey, it's better farming him for 90 days than 180 days. 3 months is better than 6 months. But it doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel like much of an improvement when you're just waiting forever for a character to level up. So I think it's made a big difference in the shop characters. For the farm characters, it's made a difference, but it still doesn't feel good. And overall, the gear just still takes longer than the stars. So it's pretty much the same as it was the first time around. You got a bunch of characters that are developed at stars that you're just waiting on gear. But overall, I think that in terms of the net result, the negative, especially for new players, it could be real easy to start a whole bunch of characters that you don't want or that you shouldn't start. I said, hey, let me just start gathering up stuff for this rebel team that I want to build in the future. And man, they were shop characters, and the currency came in so fast, and I've got 4 characters ready to go to max stars, like as soon as I unlock them, which is crazy, right? So it would be real easy for me to go ahead and start that project and unlock those characters, and then have more galactic power worth of stuff that's stuck at a low gear level. But on the other hand, if you know that that's the case, it does give you much earlier access to some realistic shard economy. So for every character that you buy out of the Galactic War store, for example, you get 150 shard shop currency. So if you take that 11 days that it takes you to get one character, that's 330 shards, that's 4,900 something, about 5,000 total currency in the shard shop. If you're buying stun guns, carbantes, and stun cuffs, like I am out of the shop, they cost 372 for 6. 5,000 gets you 13 buys. So 13 times 6 is what, 78 pieces that you could get over that same 11-day period. So that's right at a piece a week. That's 50 pieces a week. That means that, if you trade in your currency, you could get 1 extra set of stun cuffs a week. So I guess it's not bad, but for as big of a change as I thought it was going to be in the game, I'm really not that impressed. But just my overall impressions. I would love to know what other people think. Make a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this change to the shards. If you feel like it's really a quality of life improvement and how fast these characters come off the nodes. And if you don't agree with me, let me know. Let's see what the community thinks. Then I want to take just a second to talk about a long-term risk. And again, this might seem silly to people who are watching the video going, I'm going to talk about something that's going to happen 2 months from now. And you're thinking, why do you care about what happens 2 months from now? And I'm telling you, if you don't know what's coming and you don't plan for it, and you're playing against it before you're ready, you'll wish you had those 2 months to plan and prepare. So Once I get to Division 10 and start getting up higher in Division 10, these are the types of teams that I'm going to have to face in Grand Arena. If I'm doing well and winning games, it progressively puts you against harder and harder opponents. And these are examples of people that bought the Hyperdrive bundle very quickly. Well, I assume they bought the Hyperdrive bundle. I don't know for sure. But whether they did or not, they invested in getting a very early Jedi Knight Revan. This is much more common than a Darth Revan, for example. And you can see that in the first team, we've got Jedi Knight Revan coming up, and we've already got Yoda at Relic 3. In the second team, you see we've got 3 Gear 12s, and they're a little less behind, but you've got 2 Zetas on the Jedi Knight Revan. So these teams, they're weighing in at quite a bit of galactic power. They've got really good synergy. It's a really good team. And if you build your Darth Vader early and you say, okay, my Vader is my powerhouse, I'm going to do him and Palpatine and Thrawn and these characters. And then you go up against this Jedi Knight Revan team. He has a skill that gives everybody tenacity at the start of the game. So as soon as it opens up, they have tenacity up and none of your debuffs work. So Darth Vader can't put, Force Crush. He can't put the damage over time on people. Your Emperor Palpatine can't shock anybody. Your characters just won't be able to debuff the other team. And if you're relying on your Darth Vader to get you through this team, it can, but it's dicey, right? You either have to be slower than them and let them go before you and try to hope that they can't kill anybody and wear off their buffs. But, it's not likely going to happen, and you're going to be stuck behind these teams. And Darth Vader really isn't a good answer. So knowing that these are the kinds of teams that we're going to face once we actually get to that, Division 10, the upper level of Division 10, I'm going to make a decision now that I'm really going to put a lot into my troopers. Even if I get the Geos to 7 stars and get Padme unlocked, I don't think I'm going to be able to develop my Padme team fast enough to be the counter to this Jedi Knight Revan team consistently. So what I'm going to try to do instead is I'm going to try to really focus on this trooper team as my arena team, focus most of my gear and skills and all of that stuff. I'll give the Zeta to Piet next and make sure that team is really on its way. And I believe that if I can get enough damage on this trooper team, that I'll be able to take out these Jedi Knight Revan teams at that level. Now, if we look, they each have a character on the team that's a little bit weak. So if we look at the first team, that Kenobi is still coming up, and he's a bit weak. If we look at the second team, you've got Yoda down here, and even though he's gear 11, I think by looking at it, Yoda doesn't have many hit points, and it's pretty unlikely that the opponent will have put a ton of hit points on him. So with the Savior ability, and if you really want your troopers to fly, you have to be able to kill Yoda or kill that Kenobi twice before the opponent goes, which is saying something. So I got to get those troopers hitting hard enough that I can trigger the Savior and still get that first kill and trigger the multiple turns and turn meter train that the troopers have going. So it's a tall order, but I think if my trooper team looks just like this Revan team with at least 2 Gear 12s and a Relic 3, I'll be able to punch through that. So that's a decision I'm making, and again, we'll all get to see if it works out together because I'll be showing it all on the channel. For energy, we're still doing Sith Trooper, Mon Mothma, Jango, and the rest of the energies going into stun cuffs. I need to start farming Bosk, so I need this Sith Trooper to finish up, or I'm just going to have to quit farming Mon Mothma and I was hoping to get 4 stars worth on her before I build that team up, but I may just have to switch and just start going for Bosk instead of her, and then go for her stuff later. In Fleet, we're just doing Anakin ship and Bastila refreshes. I'm doing 2 mod refreshes every day before anything, and then 2 energy refreshes, and then if I have enough, 1 Fleet refresh. And if I get crystals beyond that, it's the same order. I would do a 3rd refresh in mod, then a 3rd refresh in energy, and then a 2nd refresh in Fleet if I had the currency to do it. With squad currency, Guild War currency, Cantina currency, those are all just going for Shard Shop. I'm just feeding the Shard Shop now. And that's why I had so many stun cuffs developed over the course of the week, because I had a lot of opportunities to buy stun cuffs out of the shard shop, and that gave me probably another full set of stun cuffs with all of the shards that I'm feeding over there to that shop. So that's it. That's the summary for the account for this week. 105 days in. Give me a like on this video if these kind of discussions are helping you make your account better. Subscribe to the channel so you can watch more videos like this in the future. And join us on the Discord. We got a good group of people over there. We're having fun. And, come over there and join us. And, all opinions are welcome. For anybody who comes on over there, I think you'll find it's a nice community. So join us over there. Thank you all for your time. I'll see you in the next video.